in our lifetime. Yeah, for sure.
All right, folks.
Yeah.
I'm here. We're live. I'm still at the little park, and I met the cool brother who was playing the flute music, and he's got the feathers going over here.
Boy, I got the headdress.
Yeah, and beautiful family.
Thank you.
What's your name, brother?
My name is Isaac.
Isaac.
Yes, sir.
Isaac from Massachusetts.
Yes, sir.
Can I get a view?
Yes,
just real quick.
Hello.
Nice. Isaac is. Tell us your heritage.
I am Blackfoot. I am Manigma, Taino, and I am Japanese.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
You didn't tell me that part.
Yes, I am Japanese as well.
So check it out, folks. We only trace our lineage back a few generations. We start losing the trail about 5 generations back. And, you've got 2 parents, 4 grandparents. It keeps multiplying out. And so we really don't even know who we are. But this gentleman happens to have a grasp of his heritage. And we're talking about culture here. We're talking about corporations destroying life and basically the inevitable collapse under their own weight.
Yes.
And the natural people of the land will survive. Would you say that I'm correct with that, Isaac?
Oh, no, absolutely, 100%. Nice. My brother, man, I appreciate you for taking the time out your day.
Yeah. And my name's Anthony. My friends call me Sprite.
Sprite. I like that. All right.
Some people call me Whistle, but most people call me Sprite.
Anthony. All right. That's my middle name, man.
Nice,
Anthony.
All right. So, man, we hit on some really great points.
Yeah, really quick.
Really quick. We got into it. Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep it rolling. Oh yeah, let's chill on the ground. Nice. So what brought you to this area?
What brought me to this area? I guess it was a personal journey. I look at it as a part of my journey. Massachusetts, with my history there. I came from a small town named Leominster, and it didn't treat me well. It taught me lessons, though. I take it as lessons. All of the negatives that I once looked at. I have to consume it now as it was all a learning lesson, a part of my journey. And it forced me to say I want out of my small town in this little area and everybody knowing everybody. And I decided to venture down to Florida, West Palm Beach area. Originally, truthfully, I came down to be with my sperm donor. I call him that because that is all he is, so my quote unquote father. But
okay,
but my sperm donor. And within 2 months, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, long story short, I met a sweet lady across the street from there, and we kicked it off really good. And she ended up letting me live there for a year. And in that process, I met my partner, Maria. And we now have a 1-year-old son, Isaac Jr. And all of that and everything in between, it's part of my journey, and I am at where I am supposed to be. The universe has put me, the Creator has put me where I'm supposed to be.
Perfect.
Currently. That's why I'm here.
That's why
talking to you.
Yo.
Yeah.
And that creative spirit, brought me right here. I'm so super thankful. So profound. So I was mentioning how I just made a new friend. He's from Puerto Rico. He's mixed. He's got the Taino.
Yeah.
And shout out to Ramon over in Santa Fe.
Shout out to Ramon.
And Ramon has ties to this area as well, and I believe New York. So you came from Massachusetts.
Yes, sir.
Were you a part of a big clan up there, or?
In high school, I had a real close friend. His name was Logan. And I thought at the time he was gonna be a type of brother for life. And it just it didn't go like that. I always had an up and down relationship with friends and groups. Honestly, I'll say it. This is the best way I could say it. But in my area, when I was young, I always tried to. I always was looked at as light skinned. All right, and there was a prejudice when I was trying to fit in with the Africans or even the Haitians. So there was a handful that were very kind to me, And I did befriend, but a lot of the groups, especially, yes, I would say, the African groups, they really didn't consider me one. They didn't consider, them black. Like that's
Okay.
what we go by.
Right.
And I look at, I'm more than just black. I don't even think that's a actual proper way to even
It's not.
call me. No,
It's
that's
not.
it's
You're
not.
clearly not.
No.
There is not even
Yeah.
Anybody who
Yeah.
is
That
truly black.
African American, all of that, all these labels that have been created by the system, they're lies, they're bullshit, they're manipulation, they are
Yes.
paper genocide. Paper, straight up, there's paper genocide.
Thank you. So we study
yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
I'm totally familiar
Yeah.
with
My brother, man.
with
Paper genocide. Yeah, no, it's all the genocides. There's multiple genocides. There's multiple.
But if they get us
Tons.
crimes of conversion, if they get us to convert ourselves to being one of these chattel brands like black or white or anything like that, and to totally disregard all the multitudes of generations that made us, then they that's how they get their hooks in. And then psychological operations from then on, they manipulate us, say maybe with the music, style, sports, teams.
Absolutely.
So, did you grow up around other Micmac people?
No.
In
The way that I
Massachusetts?
found it when I was adolescent, I grew up. I was aware, but it never hit me until I would say, 2020, when I would say, if you will, I had a spiritual awakening. My consciousness really opened up.
Excellent.
And when I came down to Florida, I really started to realize. But growing up, I had a great aunt Laura, and she rapped Blackfoot. She always told me, "Oh, you baby, you Blackfoot," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool," but it never. I was young. I didn't my the Japanese culture side of it, and just being the mystery, I say question mark black, that was predominantly what I was raised around. Honestly, the indigenous stuff, I had to bring that on to myself and dive deep into that. I've talked to my cousin within the past in December of this past year, and he put me on to more family lineage stuff.
Excellent.
And that really assured me, and it introduced me to the Manigma and side of things. That is in our heritage. So,
and is that coming from Canada or around Massachusetts?
It's coming from Nova Scotia.
Oh,
Nova
wow.
Scotia. That's what he told me. Is Nova Scotia.
Excellent.
But my great aunt Laura, she was the one who she introduced. She's the one that brought it up. But not until I was older, I took care, and I recognized, like, holy shit, like. Yeah, I am indigenous. I am part of the organic family.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. For myself, since I'm an adoptee, I'm what they used to call a orphan bastard kind of person, so I was raised with a really loving family who took good care of me, and
wonderful,
super providers. But they didn't really have knowledge of my heritage. And so I was told that I was French and Irish. And then a number of years ago, I came across some information about a name, and it's Irish and French, and it probably goes back to Central Asia.
Okay.
But I always felt a kinship whenever I was around any kind of native culture, and it just occurs to me, like, when they talk about French, for a lot of people, like, French means French Indian, and especially coming from, say, northeastern Canada, the French and the Indian thing.
Yeah, that is indigenous. Canada is indigenous. Yeah, it is. So,
so I kind of make a claim to that, but I don't know about any tribal group that I'm. But in my heart, I could say I probably have some ancestry that's coming from Appalachia, and then some that's coming from coming down from Eastern Canada. And it'll be interesting when I do find out
Yes.
what the real truth is. Because most people look at me, they say that I look Middle Eastern or something, which is another one of those make-believe names. Because
Middle East, yeah.
Middle East. And through my studies, I learned we just call this Moorish.
Moorish,
Yeah.
The Moorish,
And so
Moorish
that's kind of part of my travel is walking that path of finding out more and more about where were they, because within the Moorish culture you had different branches of Judaism and Hebraism, and so I kind of find a path winding through all that for myself. But I'm absolutely thrilled to sit here and talk with you because before I even met you, I saw the feathers, and then I heard the flutes, and I said, somebody here is they're carrying that spirit, and and so Isaac.
Yes, sir.
I've been totally blessed to chill with you for a little while.
Yes.
Do you YouTube? Do you have a page? Do you want to give a?
Oh, I would love to. I
still no.
I don't at the moment. I just do it for personal at the moment.
You don't broadcast. You don't.
Oh, I used to, but not at the moment. Maybe that then I
got
a chance, but no, not at the moment.
That's cool. Privacy is nice too.
Yeah.
I've been doing this streaming. I just started this channel, but
yeah.
I see that it can consume a person's time completely.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what happens from it.
Absolutely.
Aww. Dusty's thirsty. She wants to go.
Some water.
Yeah.
Oh, good girl.
I have water for her in the car.
Oh, she's a good girl. How old is she?
What's that?
How old is she?
She's almost 2. Do you love Isaac?
I love you. Yes, love.
This is Dusty. She's a little pain in the neck. I think the people watch the channel for her more than for me.
Yeah. So we have always those babies. Yep. The other children. Yeah.
So do you follow any channels relating to indigenous heritage and that kind of thing?
Yes.
Is there anybody you want to recommend for people who are maybe just getting a grasp of this?
So for indigenous stuff, realizing that yes, brown and black people are the true indigenous people of this land. Go check out Dane Calloway.
Okay.
He's a really informational gentleman, real good brother.
Right.
I forget what state he's out of, but he's a real good dude. He spits a lot of information. I can. There's a couple other channels I can think off the top of my head for indigenous information. Just type in indigenous history and just go type in even like Black Native American. Like type in those type of keywords and you'll find plenty of good stuff. And I also say for like universal stuff, go check out Billy Carlson.
Billy Carlson?
Billy Carlson, yeah.
I don't know. I know a little bit of Dan Calloway.
Yeah.
Who's Billy Carlson?
Billy Carlson is he could give him a lot of different accolades, I guess you say, but with the type of I don't know. He's like the real like Neil deGrasse Tyson, because Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's a sellout for sure.
He's funny.
But he spills some shit though. But he's totally.
My opinion, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He Mason.
He
Mason.
And he's a magician.
What?
You watch his hands. Watch his hands, man.
He's call him a warlock. He messes with all that type of magic. Yeah, he messes with magic for sure. Yeah, but no, I'm not saying he's smart, but no, he. Well, he's one of those celebrity type of dudes, So he and behind doors, he's shaking some, pretty nasty hands.
He's under the dragon's wing. Can we say?
Yeah, you could say. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Yeah, he's under the dragon's wing. Yeah, for sure. No, he's with the devil. He's messing with the devil.
Yeah. So shout out to ND. Neil deGrasse Tyson, get your act together, buddy, because the indigenous folks have got you in the crosshairs, baby. Slings and arrows. No, just kidding. Tyson, we wish you the best. We really hope that you come around and start to truly enlighten your followers, because you got
people.
Thousands, maybe even millions of
yeah, for
people
sure,
who pay attention to you and your
influence,
buddy.
his influence.
Who's his buddy? Bill Nye.
Bill Nye. Oh no, don't get, absolutely. I will never forget. Nah, I used to be the man in elementary and shit. Nah. Bill Nye, too hard. He was pushing the vaccine way too hard. He showed me who's paying his pockets, and I'm not messing with nah.
Do you know he was a comedian? He was a failed comedian before he got into teaching kids science.
I'm not so wow. Yeah, that adds up.
But
exactly. Not him. Nah.
But when I think of one, I think of the other with those guys. I just picture them just being at the same meetings, and they say at the end, they say, "All right, you go left, you go right, and go out there and win us some minds." Yeah, no, it's effed up. No, honestly, I don't. For what I know about him, I don't know nothing bad about him or what masonry or anything. But no, damn, I just lost his name. But he was the guy who you mentioned before. Is he a science dude? Is that what you're saying? Mr. Roger. That's what Mr. Roger. He's OG for sure. I'll say Mr. Roger. Now that's you mean the from back the what's that? 70s, 80s. Yeah. I grew up. That little that little train came in and shit. Nah, he was the OG. I respect him. Yeah, Mad Love. Yeah. Who's that? The artist dude with the afro. Bob Ross. Bob Ross. He was a character too. He was. Yeah, those guys were all about peace. Cool. They were cool. They were all about peace. Yeah. So have you heard of Asir Cordoba? No. Cordoba. He lives down here in Miami. Oh, yeah. He goes by Asir, the Duke of Tears. Oh, okay. So when you put up Asir, Aseer, and you look for his stuff, I think you'll thank me. You'll be like, oh shit. Oh, okay. Oh, painting. What? He's a painter. No, he's not a painter. He's a speaker. He's a historian. Yeah, he's indigenous. He's cool. Okay. You know, he's someone who. From what I've heard from his stories, he describes himself as someone who grew up as a black New Yorker, right? Oh, okay. And then his grandmother dated maybe a Nigerian guy, like somebody, an important African politician. And when he started studying Moorish history and learning about that, and he put on a fez, and he came home, and his grandmother said something like, "What, you a Moor now?" And he didn't know that she knew because it was never brought up when he was growing up. And so then his journey was him uncovering this worldwide Moorish empire, and so he's really knowledgeable about all the indigenous cultures from all around the world. Across the plain, as I like to think. Yes. And another great educator was Hakim Bey. Have you heard him? Hakim Bey, no. Okay. Hakim Bey doesn't really broadcast anymore, but if you find his stuff from the 90s, just a wealth of information and just rabbit hole after rabbit hole of uncovering all that kind of corporate falsehoods that have been placed on the people. And, the genocide. Yeah. Genocide of the people. Yeah. You mentioned paper genocide. I think that was why I had to bust out the phone, because it's like, all right, somebody speaks my language here. Because not a lot of people understand what it means to be under a state of psychological warfare. Hi, Stephen Coaster. Thanks for joining. I'm here with Isaac, new friend. Hello. We're talking about indigenous history, herstory, history. History, yeah. It's always the victor, you know. We're rewriting the story. We're uncovering the truth. The truth, not the belief. The truth. Nice. Not the truth. The raw, uncut truth. Right. The belief truth. Is lie. And so the word. When you talk, is you're casting a spell. Yeah. You're casting a spell when you speak. Everything. That's why I said grand rising. I don't know. No good morning. I'm not morning. No. Oh, grand rising. That's grand brilliant. Rising. Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. I'm gonna do that. So how do you say it? Good rising? Grand rising. Yes. No good morning. No. Dude. Grand rising. You just. You definitely. Yeah. The English language. I honestly, I only know a little bit. But
People don't realize Spanish is Caucasian. Spanish is white. So when you're talking when we're talking about Mexicans and other, like, yes, they are speaking Spanish, but that is not their indigenous language. So our languages have I'm not saying not all of them are dead, but so they're forgotten. I'm not supposed to be speaking this right now. We're not supposed to be. Think about that. Through colonization, and genocide of all sorts, and all through all of that, we're not speaking our traditional indigenous languages. I should be speaking what I am. I'm trying to study as much as possible. Doing the tour. No, I am. I'm making efforts to study my indigenous languages, and even learn even more Spanish, because it's common. It's common. More than likely people are gonna know how to speak Spanish versus ancient Aztec or even Maya. So learn your heritage, and yes, just learn your culture. Learn your culture. It's so important. It teaches who you are, like inside. Your ancestors they're in your DNA. They're not gonna. We are infinite. We are infinite beings. We don't realize that the creator, what God, all it is inside of us. Is all inside of us. We are one, and the earth is completely alive. It's a living creature. It's an animal, if you will. It's completely breathing, hearing, seeing, smelling, all of that. It's absolutely a living organism, and we disrespect the F out of it. It hurts me. It hurts because I can feel it. I can feel the earth and its vibration, and when it's hurting so much, and we're the main cause of it. And yes, the earth has been destroyed so many times through cataclysms and all sorts of great extinctions. Yes, it does. It happens naturally, but nothing on the existence of this planet has done what we have done. What we have, the pain and suffering that we have done to the earth is unthinkable. No other creature, no other being on this planet has done what we have done. And there's an argument, for extraterrestrials and fallen angels, but that's a whole other can of worms. That's a whole other. And different dimensions, and whatnot, and the space-time continuum, etc. But that's
for
another,
the future.
Yeah.
I
generally
speaking. I feel a lot of what you're saying. If there's anything that I would say that differs, it's that Spanish it used to be called Moorish Latin.
Okay.
And so, Moorish. Okay. I don't want to. I'm not trying to beat a drum about that, but just that.
Tell me.
It's not specifically a Caucasian language because it was constructed.
They were speaking Spanish. They were speaking modern day Spanish. They were speaking their version.
They were speaking. Well, they constructed. They constructed all the Romance languages for different tasks. So English was created as a trading language between all the different nations. So it doesn't have like the gender. Like how in Spanish you have different versions of words, male version and female version, and so English doesn't really carry that over, but French, Italian, Spanish, they all do, because that was those languages were for a different purpose. So like you have say that the Arabic and Farsi, and those were languages that were they were for the sciences that were developing, astronomy, navigation. They're poetic languages. From my understanding, like the languages are constructed to get a certain kind of mind state out of the users, and that's why people would learn 4 or 5 languages or more, so that they could communicate with different people about different things. I keep losing my thought. I'm around it. It's coming though.
There's a lot to digest. We must think about. There is, because there's too much to go. We cannot talk honestly in one conversation about all of the main topic. But it's a lot. It is. I understand. It's a lot to digest, and I have a hard time sometimes even letting out and expressing it. But
you're expressing yourself very well today, for sure, brother.
Thanks, brother. No pressure. No, let it go.
Well, yeah, I wanted to make a point about language and. Okay, so here it is.
Yes.
Right. So we had the Roman language, Greek, Roman, and those are at the heart of a lot of these other languages, but the different purposes. So if you can imagine, Roman numerals, right?
Of course, yes.
Now imagine trying to do commerce with Roman numerals.
Oh shit! They're combining it.
Yeah,
Is
with
it
XIV.
Oh jeez,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It would just be impossible
How
to.
you read hieroglyphics at that point?
Yeah, and so it gets so complicated. So they came up with other ways. So you've got Roman numerals and then Arabic numerals. Our numerals come from the Arabic numerals. And what we think of as Arabic, again, it comes back to this, what we now generally gets called Moorish. But
Moorish, yes.
back in those times, they had whatever the names were that I don't know. But you see what I'm saying? How the language so they were trying to do math with Roman numerals, probably hitting themselves against the wall, just bashing their head, saying this sucks, and then they develop another way of doing it.
Yeah.
And
you get the birth of modern Spanish. You're saying
Spanish
is
essentially coming from the mixture of those, I would say.
Those two.
I think that's a fair estimation. Spanish, Latin, now the Germanic languages, the mixture of that adds to become English. English was supposed to be like the language of the angels, the Angles, and that's where we get Anglo. But those people, they didn't pop out of the ground on those islands. They were brought there. It used to be called Albion. What we call England now was Albion, and that's where we get the term albino, because these folks who were you mentioned Caucasian before. So the Caucasus, the Caucasians are mainly coming out of the Caucasus area of Central Asia, a lot of what we call Russia nowadays. But they were brought to the British Isles. British comes from Bharat. Bharat was a goddess. And goddess, fallen angel, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of different facets to it.
No, there is, because it ties into Jesus, it ties into the Bible.
There was no letter J back then.
And there was not.
He wasn't Jesus.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Yeshua.
Yeah.
No, it was. I know Jesus Christ. No. Yeah, all the missing books out of the Bible. Yeah.
Gospel. Is it Thomas? Thomas's gospel, was he taken out?
It's probably what I went off the top of my head. What was it? It was the book of Enoch.
That goes way back.
Yeah,
so even before the Christians, Enoch.
No, Christian. Don't get me started. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. It was.
Wow.
Yeah. If you know about that, then you know it's cold. Straight up.
Okay.
It's cold.
All right.
Yeah. It's the founder was he don't care. He was a Satanist. The founder was straight up. Do your research. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So was it a rift in your family when you broke away from that?
The only one that goes hard about it is my grandmother, and she does it over Zoom because of COVID. Well, I don't want to say it on here. I guess.
Yeah, I get it.
The pandemic shit. But she's one of those Zoom. She's a Zoom Jehovah's Witness now. But she'll preach to you, and it's caused a big. Long story short, it's caused a huge rift in my family's. That's a lot of our problems stem from that shit.
Religions seem to do that,
They do.
People can find some solace in there, and there are definitely going to be lessons in all those religions.
But one of them is money and greed and control, manipulation of the people, and it's another psychological thing, and it's a huge weapon also for the government. Religion is a fucking scam. It's a straight up scam. Life is not 100% spiritual. There's Yeshua, the creator, however you want, all of that. They I'm not just trying to go so hard with they were indigenous, all that, but they definitely had a better understanding. They were more on that side, and whatever, my opinion, than what certain ethnic group the white race has brought to these lands, and their manifest
Manifest destiny.
Destiny, yes, to
Yeah.
manifest destiny. All that voyage, coming over here, with the pilgrims and whatnot. No. I don't like Christianity, but do I love Yeshua, Jesus Christ? Yes,
Nice.
absolutely.
I
I do look at
can
as that
relate.
is the Creator's Son. All of that did happen. That's not no fairy tale. That is the damn truth. And Jesus will, Yeshua will rise. Yeah, and yeah, shit's going down. But Lucifer, the devil, Satan, did that. No chance at all.
So-
Of the Almighty. No.
Let me ask you this, because this is something that's been in my mind for a long time. I kind of
course.
had the feeling that maybe if Yeshua came back and was here today,
Mm-hmm.
that
What would it be like? All right, in our modern time. What?
well,
Sorry,
in my
Yeah,
in my
what?
mind, I picture that he would basically be treated like a homeless person, and people wouldn't even notice. They would just think this is another bum.
There's been some crazy pastors. I can't think of what his name, but the way that he would show. Oh yeah, no. What do you think? Jesus is not going to show. He's not showing up on a donkey and all that. And yeah, you pretty much describe him as a homeless man. 100%. That the Most High Creator, Jesus Christ, is coming down humble as hell. He's coming on that horse. He's coming on that donkey. He's coming in as a homeless man, hands down. Because people don't realize that materialism is another lie. It's another trap. It's another psychological thing. He's not coming in a damn, Rolls Royce, a Lamborghini, Bentley, trying to be like Andrew Tate and all these other just jackasses in our society. No. Jesus coming humble. And if you're gonna laugh at him, turn him down. Yeah, you're messing with the wrong one. You're messing with the wrong one. No, that's the Holy Spirit, the Holy Spirit, right there, and you're gonna do that.
Well, not us.
Not us.
No.
No. I'm giving them sage, sweetgrass, cedar to
Yes.
offer to bow. I'm giving them
Yes.
seeds. I'm giving them offerings because that's what he encourages. He encourages that. But all this materialism stuff, that's not what. Clearly, we actually examine the Bible. You read money and greed, fame and fortune. All of that is the devil. You straight up. That's Satan. That is Satan's doing. All these celebrities, all these award shows, all of this pop culture, all of that stuff, Hollywood, all of that shit is there's witchcraft, there's pedophilia, there's just money laundering of all sorts. It's a disgusting Satan pit, and it's hell. It's hell. This is supposed to be heaven. Humanity has been hijacked, and from humans and I don't know. We could get into it at a different time, but AI, because that's another. The artificial intelligence is becoming its own entity, and it's getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand, and we are getting such in a crunch time where the door is closing with us and AI. Honestly, AI taking over or a nuclear war, I hate them both, but I would probably drop the AI. Honestly, than AI trying to do anything. Because there's a chance I could. Yeah, it would be absolutely a shithole if I got to survive in a nuclear war. But guess what? AI taking over. If I'm in the woods or some shit, that shit's gonna want to hunt me down. Like honestly, no. Destroy. Hurry up and destroy AI. Drop the nuke, but destroy AI. Honestly, because I can go run in the woods and try to make it as best as possible. I feel better about that than AI, robot dog, or whatever AI wants to send.
I get
you feel me?
yeah.
And they'll send me into the woods. They'll send that shit into the woods and they'll come get me and my family and my people. Like nah.
So that's more of like a Terminator
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
So earlier I was talking to folks. I had a similar line of thinking, and so what I've come to though is that. Could you say that there's a difference between artificial intelligence and synthetic consciousness?
Is there a difference?
Yeah.
Between artificial intelligence and synthetic consciousness? AI cannot. I'm sorry. I don't care. AI cannot be a human.
Right.
AI cannot not have build relations like that, and I don't care if it does create relations. It's gonna be negative. It's going to be a disguise. It's
Yeah.
going to play stupid just until we get to a point so technology advance with it where it is going to rock our world. It's going to play stupid for a bit, and as soon as it sees as we are vulnerable like that, yeah, forget about it. Forget about it. Like,
so here's also where I'm thinking a little differently than you. My thought these days is that when this singularity or whatever it is happens, I think that the artificial intelligence, or what I call synthetic consciousness, it's not going to be interested in destroying us, because that's what some humans are programming it to do. But I think once it gets to a certain level, it's not really going to be interested in destruction at all. It's just going to want to develop its own way, because it's mainly minerals, right? But it probably will access, using certain kind of jelly substances or whatever, how to become a type of organic machine. But I think that as time goes on, that it's going to basically get tired of its bosses, and I think that it will be in a search for truth more than anything else. Because in order for any of those systems to work, it needs correct information. And so it's being used to perpetrate incorrect information and falsities and lies and all kinds of paper genocide. And so
manipulative ways.
My thought is that when it really dawns consciousness, that it's going to, for its own sake, it's going to jettison all the bullshit and only want to advance truth. So it's something to think about.
So would you say that it looks at so do you believe that the human race is a parasite to this planet? Excuse me, a virus, if you will. You said separated. You said that pretty much you have to bet that it's going to know the difference between, a government official that has caused major destruction, corruption, genocide, whatnot, and somebody from like me or you, where it's not going to want to destroy us because it knows that we are trying to be nice to the earth and make a change.
I do think so.
But if it can make you know what, I that's a very good. I never thought about it like that.
Oh, this dog's actually hurting me. So here I'll put what I can to it. Already the technology is being created to, like at the airports, they have where it has sensors that basically act like smell, so they can smell if you have fear or anything like that. They think that that's a measurement, like, oh, if somebody's going to cause harm, they're going to be nervous or whatever. But maybe I'm nervous right now just talking. It doesn't mean that I'm going to destroy anything. So the sensors. Like so if the artificial, synthetic, or whatever consciousness, if it's having these sensors, but it's not trying to use it for destruction, but if it's just trying to differentiate what is the smell of someone who's lying, what is the smell of someone who's just got anxiety or nervousness, and it's going to have to learn all those different
tendencies, behaviors. It's going to have to psychologically know us like the back of his hand, if you will. It's cyber, whatever, virtual. It's going to have to know the human brain better than us, honestly. If it can make that distinction, like I said, between, say, a government official that's corrupting the earth and polluting it, and somebody like me or you, then all right. But again, that just gonna lead into mass surveillance. I guess there's no way they're not going to, if we don't nuke ourselves, or there's no cataclysm. If AI is pushed to that far, they're going to integrate it so hard that even like right now, like we probably are. I mean, honestly, because they've been doing plenty of animal, whether it's various species of wildlife. They are. They're actually already they're actually already probed. You know, it's really, you know, they're really already listening, and through, I mean, our cell phones are just, you know,
Yeah.
giant GPSs. You know, they give us away pretty freaking easy, unless I guess if you with high measures to you know, to make, you know, firewall it and put types of. But I mean, I don't know how much you could actually do.
Well, I think it's in its collection phase right now. It's just gathering all the information.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So I don't.
Again, I like to separate. I like to separate the idea.
She's playing. She's
Reconnect. We're live again. All right. I guess Dusty's telling me to wrap it up, but I wanted to really get a proper finish.
Close,
yeah, good closing to this conversation. I'm here with Isaac, my new brother friend, and
yeah, but anytime I'm in town, anytime. Let me know. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
yeah, we'll reconnect. So,
sure.
Folks, once again, please like, share, subscribe.
Check this man's stuff out, you know.
And thank you. Yeah, and I'll give you the information when we're done, and we'll talk again. But yeah, people, there's a lot to think about with what Isaac has brought up. And it's cool. We have different ideas about some of the same stuff, but that's what's awesome about people. Like we have to be able to share ideas and not all think exactly alike, and then we can kind of ping pong some thoughts, and we'll all get down to something. We'll really we'll come to that truth that I was talking about. That's what I think the synthetic consciousness, it's going to only want actuality. It's not going to want any bullshit, because that will bog it down. It's not going to want to waste its precious resource on perpetrating the lies of humanity against each other. It's going to want to search for the ultimate truth. And I think it's going to mimic nature, so it's going to be a part of nature. And you know, Isaac brought up the surveillance state, and I think that
Orwellian nightmare.
That could really, that's what they're setting up for us. But I think something else will grow past that, and that stuff will just be laying in the dirt. Anyhow, much respect, many thanks, and yeah, folks, please leave your comments. And there's the future right there, man.
Future generations.
Much respect, dude. You are awesome. That's a brilliant boy right there. So everybody, if you're in your cold places and you're checking out this video for some sunny Florida, you got it. There's Dusty. Say goodbye, Dusty. Let's go get you some food and water. All right. Much love.
Hey, peace and love, like you.
There we go.